3, 2, 1. Are we live? Give me a sec. Okay. Right. Hi, guys, and welcome back to On the Fence. So, Liverpool have just been defeated 2-1 by PSG in the Champions League at the Parc des Princes. And I was absolutely 100% expecting to, come upstairs and record what I thought was going to be look, Liverpool are outclassed. Liverpool were beaten by the better team. We were second best, and that's fair. All that is fair. But I mean, the play acting was just so far beyond what you're supposed to see in a football match. In a football match, which is a contact sport, it's quite evident that PSG was sporting a Nike Air Jordans, which is to do with basketball and them sort of brands, because every touch from a Liverpool player, and Neymar's thrown himself to the floor crying like a baby. Even Thiago Silva, who is supposed to be a big bustly centre half, quite a big man. Sadio Mane puts his hand on him and he throws himself to the floor so much. He actually throws himself to the floor that badly that he hits his own head and actually hurts himself, because he's that concentrated on trying to throw himself to the floor and win a foul or win something, and to gain something off the referee. And to be fair, I don't think the referee was very strong in this game. And look, for anyone that watches this video back, I will say right now from the get-go, Liverpool were outclassed. We were the second best team in this game. We deserved to lose. We had a good little fight back in the second half, of course, but I still don't think we were good enough to win this game, because players like Neymar, players like Mbappe and Cavani, Verratti in particular, they all stepped up for PSG. Fair play to them, you know what I mean? They didn't turn up at Anfield, but they did in this game. They were absolutely exceptional in the first half, and you couldn't fault them. Very similar to Liverpool of last year. In the latter end of the Champions League, they were firing all cylinders. They were quick out the blocks, and then they started hitting us on the counter attack. They played their game plan absolutely superbly. But I've just got a real bad taste in my mouth from this play acting that they all seem to be under. You know what I mean? Neymar, like I said, Neymar throwing himself to the floor. In my opinion, Kylian Mbappe is streets ahead of Neymar, and that's saying something. Neymar left Barcelona to be the main man in a different league, and he's gone from being in Messi's shadow to now being in Mbappe's shadow, which is one of my mates said that as well. So I'm not the only one who thinks so. Kylian Mbappe is streets ahead of Neymar. Do you know what I mean? Because Neymar's a fantastic player, he really is. But if that's what he does, game in, game out in Liga, then I mean, I feel sorry for BT Sport for calling him like a prized possession, because he's just not. Like, £200 million worth of a player wasted on someone who wants to act and wants to throw himself around the floor, and he's to a point where he's faking corners. Do you know what I mean? He's faking to take a corner. It's a fucking corner. Take the corner. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can understand like a well-worked set piece, like a free kick or something like that, or a penalty. Yeah, fair enough. But he's trying to fake a corner kick. He's trying to fake a corner kick. Like, let that sink into your mind. You know what I mean? Like, people in the comments are just going to say, he's salty. And look, I am salty. Fair enough. But, I just think 2018 football, it's kind of going, sometimes it goes the wrong way. And this is one of them games where it goes the wrong way. Back to the ref, as I was going to say, I don't think he was a very strong ref. Marco Verratti should have saw red in the first half, and I'm really disappointed in that, because you look at Joe Gomez, he could have had his ankle broken by Marco Verratti, and Marco Verratti should have been red carded there and then. The ref was very quick to get his yellow card out, so fair play for being vigilant on the scene. But no, it should have been a red card in my opinion, a straight red card. No doubt about it. And Joe Gomez, he takes that kick, right? That's a potential career ender there, the way he's gone in on him. And Joe Gomez just gets back up. Do you know what I mean? He does obviously feel the pain from the first one, but then he gets back up. And that's the consummate professional that you want to be. Joe Gomez there is setting an example to every single player on that pitch, especially Neymar, especially Thiago Silva, to not fucking roll around like you've just been shot in World War fucking whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he's took a real bad hit, one that's worse than anyone else took on that pitch, and he's just got back up and carried on. But all the other players are going around crying to the ref. At one point in the 90th minute, Dani Alves, he takes a kick from Van Dijk, yeah, to be fair, but it's not as bad as the one Gomez gets. And he's rolling around, holding his knee, but looking at the referee as he is. Like, he's rolling around that much, but then he's still got his head up, looking, staring right at the referee. It just baffles my head. It really does. That a team full of, millions of pounds of superstars have to use that. Do you know what I mean? It's them dark arts. It's that Jose Mourinho-esque kind of way of playing football, and I just don't agree with it. I really don't. And Thomas Tuchel, at first I was thinking to myself, I kind of feel sorry for him because he's kind of inherited this bunch of players who are like that. But then Thomas Tuchel's on the sidelines calling for everything, even when nothing happens on the pitch. His players are just throwing themselves to the floor, and he's there like giving it all the big I am. And I'm just thinking, fucking hell, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, fair enough. Look, we were beaten. I'll get down to the game now. I really will. So from a Liverpool standpoint, I think in the first half we were better. We had a better showing than we have in recent weeks. To be fair, PSG started really well, and then we kind of did start well as well. But they got the first few chances they were kind of spearheading theirs a bit better, and it was down our right hand side, their left hand side. Kylian Mbappe was just really unplayable in this game. It was absolutely fantastic, to be fair to him. And I don't hold nothing against him because he wasn't doing any of this play acting shit that Neymar and that were doing. So, fair play to him. He absolutely taught us a new one down the right-hand side. Down their left-hand side. So anyway, that was that. And then Wan Bernat gets the first goal of the game from a bit of sloppy defending from Liverpool, which is, you don't really say that too often these days. Van Dijk makes a clearance, but it comes to, Lovren and Gomez's area. Gomez playing right back, of course, and they just both of them hesitate. And it happens in football. They both hesitate. They go to clear the ball, then they don't clear the ball. Wan Bernat skips in and he puts it past Alisson. It's under Gomez's legs. Alisson's got no chance. It's 1-0 PSG. Fair enough. You know what I mean? Like, them kind of goals happen. It is a little bit disappointing, but look, yeah, they were just sort of quick off the mark, quick out the blocks, and it's to be expected because they had a lot of pressure on them in this game, probably more pressure than we had. They had a lot of pressure in this game, and look, they've dealt with it in their own way, but they've won the game. So, you can't really be too mad at that because, like I said, they've gone and won the game. And that is their objective, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They have to win the game. And in their opinion, by any means necessary, play a record, Joe. And then the second goal comes from, again, down our right-hand side, their left-hand side, Kylian Mbappe. He gets played through by Neymar. Neymar starts the attack off, to be fair, in his own half. Plays it forward to Mbappe on the left-hand side. He puts the ball in. I think Alisson makes the save from Cavani, which is a great save, by the way. Alisson was really good in this game, and it's a shame he was on the losing end. He makes a save, and then Neymar, clears up and puts it in for 2-0. And at this point, PSG are cruising, and I'm thinking to myself, this could be 3, it could be 4, because PSG are unstoppable at this point. But the first half ended how the whole game ended. Last couple of minutes of the first half, and Liverpool get a penalty, which, again, just to go back on the referee, the fact he wasn't a very strong referee is because he saw that Mane was fouled in the box. He saw it, and he still didn't. He nearly never gave a penalty, and it's lucky that they had the fifth official, I think it is, on the side of the goal, who give the penalty. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had a penalty, and it would have been maybe 3-4-0 in the whole game. So Milner tucks away the penalty. Cool, calm, and collected. That's 14 and 16 penalties for Liverpool. James Milner now, absolutely fantastic. What you expect from James Milner all the time, consistent as ever. So that's fair. And then so that's how the game ended. Really, the second half kind of just turned into a bit of a circus when all the PSG players decided to start, throwing themselves to the floor and all that shit. But look, I'll take that. That's out of the window now. The game's gone. We've lost 2-1. We're sitting in a pretty precarious situation. If you just give me a sec, I'll get the table up. I think. Well, we're definitely third. That's definite. Where are we? Sorry, guys, I will be quick. Yep. So, as it stands, then Napoli are top on 9 points. 2 wins, 3 draws, and no losses. They're doing really well, to be fair, Napoli, because everyone looking at the start of the season, especially from Liverpool's side, seeing that Napoli were in this group, we thought, okay, Napoli are going to be the team that lose out because Liverpool are boss, went to the final last year, and PSG are PSG. So Napoli have done very well to get themselves where they are. PSG second on 8 points now after that victory against us. and then we're sitting in third on 6 points, while Red Star Belgrade are last on 4 points. So look, it's still all to play for. I think the commentator on BT Sports said we need to win by 2 clear goals next week against Napoli. So you know what I mean. It's going to be tough. It really is. And just hearing that Liverpool got to win by 2 clear goals just makes me think of Olympiacos. And we know what happened then. So it could be a blessing in disguise. Just go through a couple of comments. Kranos Lesser, hang on, Lesranda. I mean, I'll just say Kranos. I'm so sorry. Liverpool were just awful. You know what, right? You were right. We were awful. I think in the first half, it's hard to gauge that we were awful. I think it was a mixture of us being awful, but PSG being so good. Do you know what I mean? I think at times last season, if you look at how well we were playing against teams, we made them look absolutely dreadful. The way we counter-attacked and stuff like that. So I think it was a mixture of PSG being very good and Liverpool just not starting as quickly as we were last season. So it is disappointing to see, mate. Thanks for your comment. And Jambo says the ref was an absolute brain-dead idiot, and I have to agree. You know what I mean? Like, I just think the ref wasn't strong at all. He seemed like when he gave that yellow card for Verratti, I understand. I'm going to take this in 2 points. So Verratti should have been sent off. Okay, he should have been sent off. But how quick the ref was to give the yellow card, I like that. But he should have given it red. It's schoolboy stuff. You can't be learning as a referee to not be strong in these kind of games. The crowd influenced him, and the PSG players all influenced him too. And I just think when it come down to it, crunch time, he kind of choked. And kind of the same with Liverpool. We choked too. We looked very nervous. And the midfield kind of lacked a little bit of something. There isn't that fluid link between midfield and attack. Okay, so Tron 1972 says our owners are useless. We're always being bullied by refs and officials. I don't think that's the owner's fault, if that's what you're implying. I don't think it's the owner's fault that we're being bullied by refs and officials. I think that's just a kind of way of the times, because in the Premier League nowadays, not just to do with Liverpool, but referees are just getting worse and worse. They're not knowing how to control games of football, and I think it's due to less and less people wanting to be refs as well. I think that's another side of it. But you can't have a referee who doesn't want to give decisions against big sides, or you know what I mean. Like, he's too influenced by the crowd and stuff like that. But that tackle on Gomez, which obviously Jambo mentions there, Verratti almost broke Gomez's leg. I did mention that before, Joe. And fair play to Gomez, because he didn't do any of the play acting shit that Neymar did. Neymar gets a touch from someone, starts rolling around, crying like a bitch, like he did in the World Cup. But Joe Gomez, he could have almost had his career ended by Verratti, and he just gets up and shakes it off. So fair play to Joe Gomez. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he doesn't get any lasting damage from that. PSG would go down to getting grass. Yeah. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Neymar spent more time on the floor and on the byline rolling around by the technical areas than he did on the actual pitch playing football. And it's a shame, right? Because Neymar, forget his price tag. I did mention it before, 200 million for anyone that's interested. How fucking ridiculous is that? For all his play acting and that, he's a phenomenal player, and he showed it in this game in spells. But then it's just he has to link that with being a great football player, and then just being an absolute twat. And I'm sorry for my language, you know what I mean? But it's frustrating. It really is. But like I said, Napoli in 2 weeks' time, I think, at Anfield, it's all set up to be possibly one of them Champions League nights that we look back on in a few years' time, when we've hopefully gone and won number 6, and we've beaten Napoli along the way. So I mean, next week's going to be 2 weeks' time against Napoli is going to be absolutely intense. I'm going to be watching it. Hopefully, all you join me after the fact. Hopefully, after we've qualified for the second knockout round in the Champions League. But just want to have a bit of quick talk about Everton coming up on the horizon. Joe McKibben, if you're still in the chat, give me something to talk about here about Everton, because we've got the derby coming up on the weekend, so that's going to be interesting too. Can we bounce back from this? Because this is a as much as the pressure was more on PSG than us, this is a big defeat for Liverpool. Because if we want to be at the elite level with the rest of them, we kind of have to win these games. These are the kind of games that we had to win. To stop any doubt, really, to stop it being coming down to the last day of the last game of the group stage, because it would have been great to sit there and rotate the team against Napoli, but it isn't to be. So Everton coming up. going to be a tricky game. I think I'm kind of glad that it's at Anfield because the crowd can get us up for it. I mean, if to be honest, we shouldn't need pumping up for this game because if you're not up for this game, then you know who the fuck are you? So yeah, I just hope that we can just turn it around. I seen flashes of Liverpool in this game being very good in the counter attack, and I'm not sure if that was more because PSG were opening more spaces, you know, behind them and stuff like that. But Liverpool were kind of looking good in the counter, finding more gaps that we used to last year. But I don't think we're going to get the same against Everton. I think it's going to be a really tricky game. So yeah, like I said, hopefully we can bounce back from this result because it is disappointing. But you know, it is what it is. Away from home in the Champions League, we've been awful since the end of last year. You know, even if you want to count the final as an away game, even though it's neutral, you've got Roma away, the final, Napoli away, Red Star away, and PSG away. That's 6 defeats. Forget the final, 5 defeats away from home consecutively. I mean, that's going to have to change if we want to win the fucking thing. You know, hopefully we can get out the group, and then after that, we need to really turn our away form around in the Champions League. You know, we need to do something and act fast because this game's coming. How many games have we got till then? We've got one. You know, it's in 4 games time. You know, we've got 3 Premier League fixtures, and then we've got this big game against Napoli. So it's going to go right down to the wire, guys. Unfortunately, it had to be this way. But Liverpool never do things the easy way. So it is what it is. Like I said, you know, it is what it is. So thank you for watching. Fucking hell. Yeah, well, UEFA Europa League, and probably not the official site, says, welcome to the UEFA Europa League, Liverpool FC. Pretty pleased. If anyone watched my earlier video, I said I do not want to go into the Europa League. If I'd literally take, if fate's against us and we're not going to win this game against Napoli, I'd rather lose and go right out completely and have Red Star hop over us, to be honest, because I don't want another Europa League campaign because it's going to harm our chances in the Premier League. So I'd rather finish 4th than 3rd. That's my honest opinion. And I'm sorry if that's a wrong way to look at it because you're in football to win as much as possible. But that to me, that's just a big no-no. So yeah, they're my thoughts, guys. Thank you for watching me live. You know, thanks for your comments and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the win today against PSG. But, you know, we will go again. Of course we will. We'll go again to the derby at the weekend. Hopefully we'll get 3 points against Everton. And hopefully City will slip up. Something will happen. And it'll kind of, you know, erode this bad mood that we're in now. So, yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. And like the video if you like it, of course. As always, I've been on the fence. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you soon.